alongside my brothers here, Nate Burleson, Peter Schrager, and Kyle Brandt. And guys, it's comforting to be here with you guys and to know that we have so much of our GMFB family watching along with us today at home. Obviously, we're all dealing with a lot, processing everything with the coronavirus, but we're committed to being here for everyone who tunes in, and we appreciate you guys being with us this
Very
morning.
well said. And I'm impressed and proud of the three of you for being here with me, and thank you. Like a lot of people I'm sure watching, my family's at home, my wife with my kids, and there's some people who have taken a more positive attitude about it. If we're forced to be at home, maybe we can get some things done. Maybe we can make some progress. Maybe we can read. Maybe we can spend quality time with family. And I looked to Dallas Cowboy DeMarcus Lawrence, who I thought had a very insightful tweet about what's going on in the country right now. Majority of pro sports are canceled for the foreseeable future. Let's take the time, not in front of the TV, to spend more time with our kids, family, and loved ones. If you're not a parent, brother, sister, or cousin, find a local youth organization or group home and impact someone's life. That is called finding a silver lining, making some lemonade. It's a very, very scary, ominous time for a lot of people. But if you're around your loved ones, make something of it. I know I love you three, and I'm glad I'm here with you. And thank you for watching.
And I love you, too. And I love you guys. And I love our crew. And I'm getting emotional because I think a lot of people right now don't know what the answers are. But we're here. And we're trying to give you a little bit of light. It's not easy for everyone. We've got a whole crew that came in New York City, and we know there's firefighters working and police officers working and building, security is here. People are here, people are still working, and the lights are on, and we're here to provide some entertainment for you. So anything you take, oh, they're taking this too frivolously. No, guys. Our show, it's a fun show. We're going to do our best to have fun with you guys and talk a little football in the process.
Hug and kiss those close to you. Make phone calls that you haven't made in a while. This is as serious as it gets, but we'll bring a little bit of levity in a day where a lot of people are sitting at home watching TV. Thank you for joining us.
And this is one of those times where you have to sort of think like how it impacts every wrinkle of your life, every aspect of your life. Work certainly, but it's just been one of those weeks where things took a turn real quick and we had to adjust on the fly. And everyone here, we want to thank everyone behind the scenes, the people that you do not see.
For sure.
And everyone who's supporting us here and taking the protocol and being here with all of us, and especially those at home who are tuning in. We're happy to fill in and provide you with maybe a little break from your binge watching or whatever it is you're doing to prepare your family and keep you all safe.
And in the NFL world, there's a lot of things going on right here. And one of them, amazingly enough, is that the CBA vote is still on time to be voted on Saturday night. And if you're at home saying, well, what does that mean? The players were presented a new collective bargaining agreement that was agreed upon between some of the executive committee from the NFLPA and the owners. But this all was presented long before the current state the country's in now, and long before the market's tanked, and long before the economics have changed. For example, at the Combine, when this stuff was all going on, it's before the coronavirus really spread around America and really took off all the sports. When I say that, think about this. Owners of several franchises own the buildings, and they also own the MLS teams, and they own a lot of different organizations. All those events have been canceled already for the spring. So a lot of the money that the owners and that the leagues thought was going to come in, that has been sacrificed. The economics changed significantly. A lot less money to be going around the next few months. Everyone's going to be hanging on tight to their bootstraps. The players have to weigh out, are we still going to fight for this thing? Are we going to try? And if so, that's great. Or do they say, okay, the economics have changed. What was offered a couple of weeks ago might not be worse than what's coming and down the pike.
There's a lot of implications here. And with more on how this impacts the NFL, here's our NFL Network insider, Ian Rappaport.
Following a day that saw the coronavirus take over and shut down the sports world, including the NCAA tournament being off, baseball season being postponed, the NBA season being postponed, etc., the NFL remains on track for free agency. As of right now, the plan is to open the league year on Wednesday at 4 p.m., as was previously planned, and the league office has said several times that continues to be the plan. So what does that mean? The CBA vote is going to conclude on Saturday at midnight, so we should know in the wee hours of Sunday morning whether or not the CBA got passed, what free agency is going to look like, and what rules teams will be operating under. Of course, there is also the franchise tag window. That is still, as of right now, slated to close at 11:59 a.m. on Monday. So 1 minute before the tampering period begins, teams should know who is franchised, who is transitioned, and who is not. And then the tampering window opens in the afternoon on Monday to kick off free agency. So amid the backdrop of the coronavirus, the NFL still going as planned. The only differing right now in the league's schedule is that the annual meeting in March was canceled, but the draft remains on track to be held in late April.
Thanks, Ian, and we will, of course, keep you up to date on the latest around the league right here on Good Morning Football. But let's talk some football. Some news from the Titans yesterday. The team announced the release of running back Dion Lewis and defensive end Cameron Wake. These moves saved the Titans more than $10 million in cap space. So, guys, with the new league year beginning in just a few days, what do you hope to see the Titans do with this extra cap space?
You make moves.
Yeah.
Listen, you have to sign what makes you special. Last year, what made them special was their quarterback play and their running back. I mean, regardless of all the other factors, defense played well at moments, and Mike Vrabel was a great coach. The surrounding staff, they picked up the pieces after Matt LaFleur left. It was Ryan Tannehill reinventing himself, snatching that starting position, playing out of his mind at times, putting the team on his back, and then also Derrick Henry. So what is it that you're going to do? I think the priority should be figure out a way to keep these two guys. Is it franchise one, long-term the other? That might be the plan. And when you look at what they're doing with freeing up that cap space, letting Dion Lewis go, that might be the sign that says they're going to go ahead and make it everything they need to do, which is the priority to sign Derrick Henry.
I am fascinated by the Derrick Henry situation because history tells us you do not pay the running back top dollar. It is not worth it. It is always a foolish move, and economically speaking, but this guy is an alien. He's a different type of running back. He is still the focal point of your offense. Even in 2020, when everyone wants to just use undrafted guys and late-round college picks, I think Derrick Henry is the identity of the Titans, and yet I would have a hard time just forking him over a paycheck that is more than any other player for the mere sake of doing it. Let's look at the top 5 highest paid running backs in the NFL right now. Zeke finished up the season strong. He's in the top 5 of rushing, if I'm not mistaken. Todd Gurley, that looks like a bad deal right now, 3 years in. Le'Veon Bell, I think you'd question that decision. David Johnson, I think you'd question that decision. And Devontae Freeman, they're saying, might not be on the team next year in Atlanta. So that's that. Now, do you just sign Derrick Henry for $17 million because thank you for your service and you've been wonderful and that's our idea? Or do you say, is there another suitor? Like, before we just write a thing for $17 million, does someone offering you 13? Because maybe we would give you 12. How they handle the dynamics of Derrick Henry and not pissing him off is interesting, because you could be very insulted if a team offers you a low ball offer after all you've done for them and say, you know what, I'll take money elsewhere and play elsewhere. The Derrick Henry situation is fascinating. Whereas Dak Prescott has been the ultimate team guy. Sure. Let's go see what happens here. Derrick Henry might say, you know what, I'm a free agent. I want to leave. If you're not going to pay me, I'll take less money to play for a team that actually wants me.
His stock could never be higher. It will never be higher again. He'll never have an opportunity like this. I've been thinking a lot about the Titans. You know, a lot of people's thinkings are changing about a lot of different things recently, and mine certainly has. Nate, you and me have been in lockstep about Tom Brady from the get-go. About him staying in New England. We've been holding hands on that. We're all like, I finally got a little itch about Tom Brady to the Titans. It finally started to make sense to me. I just started picturing it. And I started picturing, I'll tell you, they bring back Derrick Henry, whether they tag him or whether they give him the long deal. And they say to Tom Brady, we have the most dominant running back in the league. We have this line. We have this staff that you know. We were just in the title game. We got this great receiver, A.J. Brown. We got this great tight end, Jonnu Smith. And what if they went after Antonio Brown? What if they went after Antonio Brown? You brought it up on the show yesterday. Brady had a very out-of-character tweet a couple of weeks back when Antonio was tweeting about anger and ego and hard work and grace. Brady retweeted it with just a heart. Now, there's some things that Antonio Brown has to go through in terms of the league and whatnot, but if they said, you're going to come in, Derrick Henry, this line, this receiver, we're going to go after AB, we're going to throw him some money, it's really, really compelling. And as a person who has said here over and over, he's not leaving, I got my first little pulse that I could see him in a Titans jersey because of that.
Wow.
I'd like to see them do that, and they should go all in. And I think that's a Super Bowl team. Antonio Brown, Tom Brady, and Derrick Henry, and that defense, I think it's a Super Bowl team. When I say, and because MJ, you've been saying Brady stay too. How's that sound? Does it get you going at all? Because I'm there.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking of this from a different perspective. When I'm thinking about them moving around the money, making sure that they have that cap space. I grew up in a Latino household where my mom was like, oh, if we got a little extra this week, we're going to make sure we allocate that to what we need the most. For us, we had to feed the family, make sure we had arroz con habichuela. That's rice and beans. So what's the rice and beans for the Titans? To me, that's Derrick Henry. That's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to keep. That's kind of the substance here of the meal. So I think if you got extra money and you've made sure that you move the budget around to allocate that's where it should be.
Derrick Henry, higher priority than Ryan Tannehill? That's a good question. And, of course, we love that. But go on. But I think you say in the running back more than the quarterback.
For me right now, I feel like that's the heart and soul of this team.
I agree. I love that. That was
amazing.
Perfectly put.
Made me hungry, too.
Bring in your
Let's
family
go hombre.
into that. And listen, if all that happens, if Brady does indeed go to the Titans,